I'm gonna tell y'all how I know God wants me to make music in my testimony as to how and why I started making music, right? I feel like maybe this will help the people who follow me connect with me more. I'm trying to learn how to be more transparent in some ways. I'm trying to learn how to be more vulnerable in some ways, right? So as you guys know, I sing. And as you guys also know, I believe in Jesus, period, right? And as you guys also know, I'm trying to navigate my relationship with Jesus and my artistry, right? I'm probably not gonna edit this. I want this to just be like a real raw thing, and I just hope y'all watch it. But I knew that I was supposed to make music. I know that I'm supposed to make music because I've had so many confirmations in my life. One of the biggest ones that I can think of right now is when I was pregnant with my son. I got pregnant with my son after taking a trip to New Orleans, Louisiana. Nola, baby. Um, and I met my son's dad there. I was going through a really rough patch in my life. Like I had just gotten from like a Christian conference type of thing. And after I got from this Christian conference thing, I decided to go back to New Orleans with one of the people I was a part of the conference with. Not to tell that story, that's a whole nother story. But I vividly remember being pregnant with my son, and I went to Los Angeles, California, because I wanted to go see Prophet Lovi. And I actually made a story time that also went viral about that church, which is really funny. But I wanted to go see Prophet Lovi, and at this time, I was married, and my husband at the time, the guy I was married to, I don't know if I would call him a husband, he told me I should go. He said, "This is a trip for you. I think you should go. This is something that I feel like you and your brother should do. This is for you guys. This is not for me." So he didn't go. We went on a road trip to Los Angeles, and I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant. 4 months pregnant, 4.5, 5 months, around there. And we got to LA, but we had no place to stay. That was not my idea. It was my brother's idea. My idea was to make sure we had at least a hotel or Airbnb before going. But he insisted on the fact that God told him we should just get there. So we just got there, and we were sleeping in the car. But anything for Jesus, right? And I was new to Christianity, so I was willing to do anything to get close to, like, you know the story in the Bible when the lady with the issue of blood, she was willing to do anything to touch the hem of, like, Jesus's garment. Like, I was willing to do anything to get close to one of God's prophets, right? This is why you don't idolize people, because that's a whole nother story time as well. But I was sitting in my car, obviously, because we slept in the car, and I had just woken up from a dream. It was like early in the morning, and in that dream I had a vision of wars. In that dream I had a vision of it was almost like World War, and I saw a bunch of houses lined up together, close together like this, and there was a bunch of army men beating down the doors, trying to get the men out of the houses, just specifically men. Maybe it was war or something, right? But they were beating down the door, and I was with my son's dad in the dream, and my son's dad looks at me, he's like, "I gotta go, or they're gonna take you guys, or they're gonna hurt you guys." I said, but like, just stay, like, let's just go hide, let's just go. He said, "I have to go, or they're gonna take you guys." And so he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to me, and that letter said, it looked as if he was writing, like, you know when someone writes on a piece of paper, and then they erase it, and then they write, and then they erase it, and then they write? That's what it looked like. And when I took the note said, "When all else fails, don't forget to sing." Just, that's it. When all else fails, don't forget to sing. And it was almost as if he was writing other messages, as if, other things that would probably help me out, like, but for some reason that was the one he, like, in my dream, he knew that was the message, God obviously, that was the main thing I had to remember, is when all else fails, don't forget to sing. And I've made some of the best music I've ever made, going through certain heartbreaks, going through a divorce, going through domestic abuse from my son's father, going through homelessness. I made my song RMN when I was homeless, sleeping in the car. I had my feet propped up on the dash, and it was raining outside. It was like a thunderstorm, and we were outside of a church at a food pantry because we didn't have any food. And I turned on the beat, and I heard, and immediately the words came. I'm here to stay, and I'm not gonna leave. I don't believe he brought me here to leave me all alone in these ugly streets. I'll find a way to save the day. You gotta pray, can I say it enough? It's no debate, you can try to act tough. You'll call his name, better not be too late. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I wrote that song right there. And I actually just put that song out maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago maybe. But I wrote it like 3 years ago. Like that song was old. I put that song out a year and a half, 2 years after I wrote it. Because you have to be pregnant for a while, and then you have to give birth, and your baby's a newborn. And I put that song out when my son was over 1 year old. So a year and a half, 2 years, I waited to put that song out. I have my song called Promise that I made because I went through a breakup with this guy that I loved very much. I just knew he was going to be my man. I just knew he was going to be my husband. But he ended up not being my husband, and that's all right. He ended up not being my husband, I guess, which hurt really bad at the time. If y'all have heard the song Promise, if you haven't, you should go listen to it. But like I was going through a really tough breakup, and I had just set up a studio in the corner of my room. Like I have the mic, I have the earphones, everything, and he had moved out, and he just left abruptly. Like one day he said, "Yeah, I gotta go to a modeling event." He came back and he moved all his stuff out and left, and that hurt so bad. So I turned on the beat, and the melody came. She broke your heart right from the start. I thought that you would see me the way I see you. And then the chorus. And I came to say, I promise that I'll never let you go. Boy, I got the price to pay it all. Price to pay it all. I promise you. Even when you, right? And I wrote that song because I just knew he was going to come back, right? I just knew in my mind, like, and when you come back, I won't reject you. Not at all. I'm not going to reject you because I just really loved and I really wanted that man back. But he ain't here, but he ain't back yet. So, and I wrote a few other songs that have not seen the light of day yet, which will, because I truly believe that God put the gift of music in me for a reason. Hold on. I wanted to make sure TikTok didn't not save my video. I really truly believe God put the gift of music in me. And there's a certain power that's in my music that's about God. Like I have a song called Hale that I wrote 4 or 5 years ago that is still not out yet. And all my followers, every time they get on my live, they're like, when are you going to release Hale? Are you going to release that song yet? And the answer was always no, but God is telling me it's the time to release it, so I'm going to have to re-record it because the guy who I recorded with, he refuses to send me my stems. He refused, if you don't know what a stem is, it's basically just the vocals without the music. Because the beat has the tag on it still. So I can't release it like that. I need my vocals, just my vocals, and I'll put them on the beat that don't have the tags on it, but he refuses to send them to me. He just refuses. So I have to re-record the whole song, but it's time. It's time for Hale. And if you don't know what Hale is, you're missing out. Hale is a really good song. And I said, lay, Hale, no Buddha, no Aphrodite, no Apollo, no Hades, Jesus Christ, the way and light. Asher, Judah, Issachar, and Dan, and Simeon, Zebulun, Levi, and Gad, the 12 tribes by his side. We gon' ride through the night. Say a prayer, close your eyes. Jesus said, and sit tight, and don't worry. That's a good song. So I just thought I would share a part of my testimony of how and why I know that God wants me to sing, and I pray that you guys enjoy the journey with me. I know it's a 10-minute video. Whoever watches it, watches it. Whoever don't watch it, don't watch it. I gotta talk fast. Time about to run out. But yeah, that's how I know. I know because God told me so. And no matter who leads me on this journey and who sticks around to figure out, in due time, it'll make sense. In due time, it'll make sense. So if you stick with me, I love you. And if you want to go, you'll still see me anyways. Peace.